We're good? We're live?
Yep.
All right. Hello. You're live on YouTube. Dave Portnoy is here. Good meeting? Fresh off a long meeting? Good meeting?
It's long. I don't know why you weren't in it, actually.
Why is that? I don't even, what was it?
It's a content meeting.
Why was I in the meeting?
I have no idea. You should have been.
Okay. Was it a good meeting or no?
It's just putting together, trying to organize temple events. So you will have to send like your I don't know why you weren't in. Aren't you on the content email?
We've gone over this many times. I'm in no emails. You purposely have blocked me. I can check my email right now.
I thought you were re-put in.
What the fuck is that? What the fuck is that?
I thought you should have been in. I assumed you were in. That's why I was surprised. But it was just getting everybody's temple events, what they cost. So we schedule next year. So we'll have to get your events.
Gotcha. We'll figure it out. No problem. All right. So you're here. So yesterday, the whole Clemmer thing, I had a couple of thoughts. I just want to go over with you quick. I know you're a busy man. So am I. So 3 years ago, at the height of whatever, my madness, I went off on Erica in an episode. I think I called her moron CEO. After she went after me or something, we went back and forth. You know, I love Erica. We're friends now. Even then, we were friends. And I remember at the time you said to her and then to me, hey, she's in content. She has a podcast. Everything's in play. So the Mean Girls have a podcast. I assume everything's in play. So why can't Chris Clemmer be critical of the Mean Girls? What has changed in the last 3 years other than you actually own the company now?
No, nothing's ever changed. So I'll give you an example.
Go ahead.
A different example.
Yeah.
I did a podcast in Chicago with the Chicago guys.
This was the big fight, right? The crazy.
Yeah. Never aired.
Right.
I never put it out. Why? Because I thought it was such a bad look for all the Chicago
damaging,
guys.
You think? Yeah.
It made them hateable. It made them harder for fans to like them. I thought it would come across like, oh, we don't like these guys and we're never going to like them.
Mm-hmm.
With what the Mean Girls that post,
which was stupid.
I don't disagree with that.
Yeah.
It basically, but if you're trying to basically say they're making fun of laid off people, it's damaging to them in a way that it will stick with you. Now, Clemmer's, there's a couple of things. If I said it, Kevin said it, Dan said it, I've said this from day one.
Mm-hmm.
There's different rules for different people.
Right.
My goal and my role is to monetize all the talent as best I can. It helps everybody. Mm-hmm. Clemmer, who doesn't bring any value to none.
No, we agree he's zero. Yeah, we agree there.
So to have the last guy on the bench who hasn't done anything in 3 days criticize them in a way that it's not like it's a personal thing where it makes them look really bad, which is fair, it may, but I don't need Clemmer, who's useless, doing that.
I called Jordan Woodruff a zero.
Two things. You have more leeway than he does.
I understand.
And that's a big factor in it. But bringing light or attention to what I think is there's no other ways to look at what they did outside of, if you're bringing attention to it, you're saying they're basically making fun of the people who got laid off.
That's what I thought. They were doing. That's what I thought initially.
Yeah, I didn't think that, but whatever.
Yeah,
so if you think that, what good?
Shouldn't your concern, but by that line of thinking, if you think the Mean Girls are dumb enough to tweet something like that after that kind of situation to make the company look bad, don't you have the same concern about them going forward, what they're going to say, what they're going to tweet, what they're going to do? Same you would have for Clemmer? You understand what I'm saying?
No.
If they're so reckless, right? So if you think that they could do something that looks like it looked bad, that tweet, whether they meant it or not, I could see how some enemies might say, wow, look, they're going after people who got laid off, right? So if they're so reckless not to be aware of that, shouldn't you be worried about them going forward the same way do you understand the question?
Yeah, I do understand the question. I'm going to tell you why. And this is where the unfairness of the world that we live in, those two are never going to be used as examples of how Barstool's
because they're women.
They're not. Yeah, probably. And they're just not. So that concerns me.
Like but Chris Clemmer won't either. Like he's a zero.
No, right? Chris Clemmer, it's to the Barstool crowd that he was alienating them. And again,
but my thing is like, so what? Like they deserve. Sometimes within this company, when somebody does something stupid or they act like shit, Sometimes they should get called. You do it all the time. Like the people should get called.
I do it.
I do it. I mean, people.
So let me ask you, Kirk. I asked him, though. It got progressively worse.
Yeah! Why does this drop keep playing, Andrew Augustus? Stop playing that fucking drop. Jesus.
So someone's doing that on purpose?
Yes. We have two I don't know what's... We have a new... Not on purpose. They keep fucking...
So if Kirk was Kirk, that person who just did that would be gone.
I'm considering it. That is true.
No, honestly, that was that bad. I don't know who did it. It's not personal.
I understand.
But, all right, thank you for applying. See you later.
Well, that's Dave Cullen.
I'm nervous about this one. I'm gone anyway. So that's Dave Cullen. Playing randomly. I can't find why that's fucking playing.
So anyway, go ahead.
So when we start getting into it,
yeah,
he didn't back down. That's where. So his analogy of if he was the last man on the bench and a superstar, he disagreed. He chirped them as the last man on the bench. You agree with that?
I think you can do it. I just think their actions. You asked. So when you do that, though, you have to understand. I think Chris does that. Then the superstar sometimes might say, "We're going to fire this guy." Like that. That's life. So where I give Clemmer credit is like he was like, "Yeah, look, if you want to fire me, I understand. I'll feel bad about it." But that's. I mean, he made it into like a Western where he's like, "I'm a 43-year-old man." He got into that whole stuff. But I do get his point. Like I understand this point.
But you don't get my point. Then?
No, I understand your point as well. But I thought. My thing with Clemmer, so I know Clemmer well, maybe even better than you, right? So when
better than me.
When you started doing the bring up the Black Lives Matter part of it, like Clemmer is never ever going to be critical of you in that situation. That's not going to happen.
That doesn't matter. Like that was an example as extreme, and I said I don't think he would. But the better example is Call Her Dad. That really is a better example because we had them, and a lot of people didn't like them, and they were jealous or whatever. It's not Mean Girls. They're not successful like that.
Right.
But why do I want... They became a cash cow for Barstool Sports.
Sure,
and they helped everybody at the company.
Definitely.
Why do I want people trying to tear them down and when I'm trying to build them up? It's like a whole... But I just don't need... I don't need to create the headaches of Call Her Daddy.
I understand that.
And complaining about... And Mean Girls not that. But so it wasn't like I was overly... crazy mad at Clemmer. I thought the fact he didn't blog and I saw it. But when I asked him point blank, Clemmer, would you tweet something that you knew created headaches for me or the company, knowing it was going to create headaches because you felt you had to? And he's like, yes, I would. Well, it's like, you're so useless to me right now. What is the advantage of me keeping you? That was my point. Sure.
What I get with Mean Girls is though, and I like Alex, I don't really care for the other girl. But when they tweet something out like that and then they run and hide, then Keegs writes a thing and then they hide for a week. Like I have no time. Like I just have no time for that. I think there's a double standard there. I think you do it. I listened to the interview yesterday. I think people treat them differently in situations like that because they're girls. If it was
them differently.
Yeah. If it was two guys, you would treat them completely. Like it was me. Or somebody else, or Smith.
I do treat them differently
because they're women.
I'm talking to them privately because they handle it differently. And if I think,
but then they tweet the shit out. Then you put it out in public. Well, if you put it out in public, you got to take shit. But my point is, then you can't talk to them privately. You then can't defend them. They got to eat shit for that for a couple of days. They have to.
It was a stupid tweet. They apologized. I don't need low bottom level feeding. That's the part. I'm saying if different people said it, I probably don't care. The fact that people...
What's the line? What's the Barstool Mendoza line for something like that? Obviously, you can do it. I can do it. Dan can do it. I can do it. You can do it. Dan can do it. Kevin can do it. Brian Whitney can do it. Can Francis do it?
Case by case basis.
Okay. Can Rico Bosco do it?
No, not right now. He can't.
Sure. No, I understand. That's a bad example.
And there's certain people. Here's what people got to understand. And I know what there's this element. It's a Barstool. You should be in for Barstool. You should. This is what you built the company on. That's great. The Barstool is constantly evolving, and we've made a lot of money on employees who don't fit the traditional.
Sure.
So, we need that. That pays yourself. It pays a lot.
Absolutely.
I'm not saying it's Mean Girls, but Mean Girls came out of the gates hot. I'm like, oh, that trajectory. I just don't. Why do I need Chris Clemmer potentially? And again, I don't know that Mean Girls will work, but why do I need take them out of it? Him complicating my life even a tiny bit where I have to hear. I don't. And he didn't seem to acknowledge that.
I agree with that. But is there a part of you that isn't there part of you though when you see them retreat and then talk shit, then high, where you're just like, get a thick fucking skin? Like, doesn't that?
Yes.
Okay. All right. That's what I wanted to hear.
I told them that. Like, that wasn't like something I haven't said. But
I think Alex does. Like, my interactions with her.
Yeah, but no, she retreated after the Kelly.
No, that's true. That's true. That's yep. Right.
So I've been very upfront. I had Jordan in my office saying, if you're not going to come to the office, it's not going to work. You guys haven't become mean girls. So I'm having these conversations, and it's not like, again, people are misconstruing. Like, I'm not. If Mean Girls turned around tomorrow and said, we're out of here, would I cry? No.
Life goes on.
Do I know if they're going to be successful? No. My point was just like, Clemmer, it's almost, you know what, a little bit was like, not exactly when I get mad at like Blind Mike for like chirping other employees.
Definitely.
Like, Blind Mike.
And you should look at his Twitter account yesterday because he was doing something. He was criticizing you yesterday. I just need, it's important you should know that, I think, yeah.
So it's not just Clemmer. You saw how mad I got at Blind Mike. It's like Blind Mike.
But you have a history. But Blind Mike, I think you have like a history with. So I think there's a different.
I fundamentally have a problem with useless people who are very lucky to be here.
Of course.
Complicating the overall business I'm trying to run.
Right.
And fine, I can get Clemmer being like, you know what? I didn't think about it that way. But he didn't say that on the podcast. He thought about it. He's like, I don't care. I'm willing to complicate your life because I'm a 43-year-old man and I got to say what I say. I use the terror. That analogy, people want to come after me, is so fake life that if you are literally the last man on the bench and the superstar does something you don't like, you're going to publicly criticize him. You will be packing your bags before the game's over. And that's kind of like what.
Did you talk to him at all after the thing yesterday or no?
He sent me a text sucking my dick.
Oh, yeah. Do you have it? Can you read it?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, good. Let's hear that.
I don't even have his number saved, so I got to fucking find it.
I have this penis head in mine because he looks like a penis, I said years ago. So it's still penis head on my phone.
Radio aside, please know I would never do anything to harm the company. I want you to know I know you went through a wildly unfair shitstorm in 2020. I don't think I did a good job emphasizing that harming the company would never be my intent. Even though I asked him if he knew it would harm the company, would he do it? He said yes.
Right.
It's an honor to have this job. It's the best one I've ever had. I will do a much better job blogging on the weekends in the future. I'm genuinely sorry for dropping the ball last weekend. I replied. I said, well, you said the exact opposite.
Well, okay. But you know, I will say, like you said earlier, all kidding aside with Clemmer, he would never, when shit was real in 2020, right? Like, you're talking about one of the three guys in the company that had your back. So I would say that Clemmer would never. I am telling you this in a situation like that would never criticize you publicly.
I don't disagree with that. I agree with that.
Yeah. Okay.
But I do think, based on what he's saying, he would happily. Like, there's a difference between going at somebody the level in what you're doing. Like, if the thesis is they're making fun of laid off people, that's just. You're a shithead. Like, you're an awful person if you make fun of.
Well, that's what I thought they were doing. I thought that.
I don't think they were.
I'm just telling you. Like, I saw it and I was like, well, this is their brand. But my thing is, honestly, if they did that and that was their intention, and they didn't break character, I'm like, well, all right, they're the mean girls, they're assholes, like, great. But like I always say with them, then they just run and hide, and then they put up Instagrams about their journey and they cry and they whine. I'm like, I just have no fucking time for that. I have no time for that shit.
I don't disagree with that. I'm coming at it from a very.
But you're saying they didn't mean it though. That was not your. They didn't mean it. What would they have meant then?
They were trying to go at their fans. That's what because their fans. They're like, when I say fans, the people, comments and their things behind. We wish you were fired. We wish you were fired. But again, my larger perspective on this is I look at them. Can Barstool
make money off them eventually? I understand that, but I don't think Chris Clemmer being critical of them will cost. I
agree with that.
Will cost them a dime.
I agree with that.
So no, I don't. So I guess where am I? So you're saying there may be a situation where he actually then does it again that costs money down the line with somebody else. Is that what you're saying?
What I'm saying is when we talked and I asked him point blank. Would he tweet something out that he thought would damage the company if he believed it was morally correct? He said he would.
He's like Rosa Parks. He's a man of principle. Right.
So my answer to that is, well, then why would I ever keep you when you bring no value to me except potentially down the road, and I didn't fire him. I'm not going to fire him like, I just don't know. I don't like when my lowest level people go after other employees on things that there's not two sides to really the Mean Girls. They tweet that they were idiots. Their best case scenario is they're totally tone deaf. That's their best case.
That's what he tweeted, right?
No, he
said they were tone deaf, didn't he? No, I thought he tweeted
no, bad. Yeah, but bad and rude, and it was more.
He tweeted they were rude. I think he said they were. No, they were tone deaf.
He tweeted it as though they meant
like
to make fun of laid off people.
Right, which I thought they did at the time too. But anyway,
you're smarter than that.
But there were layoffs like 4 days before, and they're supposed to be like Mean Girls. Like I thought they were doing like a bit that somebody they liked that got like. Look, if you laid off K Marco a couple of weeks ago, I would have fucking put a tweet out about it.
Correct, I know.
I'm just so. I mean, I thought they were
even your shit with K Marco for the most part is like centered on him being a horrific editor.
Yes, that's true. But I'm just saying, like I thought they might have had some enemy that got laid off and they were doing some victory lap.
They weren't. No.
Which I thought would have been a shitty thing to do. But like I said, would have been on some brand. So I don't. We're going in circles.
That we can't have. I wouldn't have employees who honestly were making fun of laid off. I would fire you for that. That would be a fireable offense.
If I tweet about K Marco getting laid off, you would fire me? You wouldn't have fired me for that. There's exceptions. No. I see what you're saying, though. I get your logic.
But like it was across the board layoffs is what they.
I got you. Yeah, I got you. I was the.
And you're also like the extreme, Kirk. So you're using yourself as an extreme, where again people want to act like everyone's the same. I knew I was getting a psychopath with you.
Right.
So like I've always used that quote when EEI got rid of me. For the Brady thing, it's like in their time of need, they turned to a man they didn't quite understand. It's like, what did you think? Like, I know what I got with you, and I think everybody should sort of know what they're getting with when they engage with you, which is mayhem.
Right.
Like, Clemmer never said, like, there was no beef between the Mean Girls. Like, just to go tweet that without even, they were in the office. You go talk to them, be like, what do you mean? It's the last guy on the bench analogy. I keep going.
Yeah.
And he answered it that I wasn't like this damaged the company or them. I'm saying if you knew it would damage them, would you still do it? And that's what he did. I'm a 43-year-old man. Yes, I'd still do it.
I think if you asked him that today, he would back off that particular statement. I think he was caught in the moment. He thought this was his moment. And I think if you asked him that same question today, he would answer it differently.
And I was already mad at him.
Yes, I could tell.
For like I didn't single him out. But
you did. You definitely did.
No.
On Twitter?
No, time out. Yeah. I meant I had already asked for the blog list. And it wasn't like I looked at it and was like, oh, Clemmer didn't blog. But then his tweet.
You saw the tweet.
And I'm like, dude, worry about yourself. Like, just that was what went through my head. Like, don't worry about them. Worry about fucking yourself. And that's why I did that. And then we went to war. And you said he won. I don't know what, like, now I get the Minna fans coming after me.
No, don't be like that. No, my point, where Clemmer's moment there was when because you played the I'm going to fire you card. When he played you can fire me if you want, like, I'll be upset, but I could tell you were like, oh, I'm surprised he's doing that. You seemed a little thrown off by that play.
He would have gotten fired. He was very close.
That would have been a bad move. You would if you had done that would look bad.
He changed his tune at the very end. If he came back and stuck with, yes, I will tweet bad things that can harm this company, knowing they're going to cause harm. If I think I'm right, that's a problem for me.
I understand that. But he's so, like, when would he ever cause the company a problem, though? Like a guy like Chris Clemmer. It's just not going to happen.
No, probably not.
I mean, who's going to do, like, Deadspin's going to take, like, what's
he's too little on the totem pole.
Right. But do you, like, when, like, Nate is in Boston going after stuff like that, you're okay with that? So am I, by the way. I thought it was really funny, but that's okay because he's been there a long time and whatever, right?
Well, it is okay, and it wasn't singled out. I mean, he attacked like 3,000.
That's what I'm saying. Everybody. Right. But there were people that night, like Brianna. She was upset at Francis's joke that night.
And what I said to Brianna is I did not think you were singled out at all. He attacked everybody.
Definitely
I thought
not.
it was a roast and fair game.
Right. So I'm starting to worry, like, is there a female sensitivity issue here that we're dealing with? Or is it, you know what I'm saying? Is it between Brianna?
100%. I don't know if it's female, male. You can say that, but there's different
guys. Yeah, right. Guys are sensitive. Yeah, that's true. Some guys are sensitive.
There's different sensitivities for different people, and as wonderful as it is to think, let's treat everybody the exact same. And maybe I think that if I wasn't in my position, I am in my position when we're trying to run a company, and Brianna's a superstar.
No, it's a Phil Jackson thing.
Yes.
Yeah, I get that. No, that's the way life is. I understand that. But like, part of me wants to say, there must be times you want to say to these people, like, it's a fucking joke. It's a fucking joke. Life goes on.
Well.
No?
No. I'm just saying Clemmers wasn't a joke.
No, but I'm saying, like, whatever, Francis or whatever. Like, I know Casey was upset about that, and it's just kind of like,
100%. Yeah, no, I what 1 billion trillion %.
Yeah, I mean, you get shit all the time. I get shit all the time. It's just you
can't. If we're using you and I.
Well, yeah, we've just said some awful things to each other. That's true. This is true.
It's gonna be me and you working our own company.
We just yell at each other all the time. Yeah. This is true.
So I mean, that's the reality that I live in. I'm trying to keep it not to be like mayhem as best I can. And again, it's not everybody. I'll let some people, if you've earned the right, like certain people could have said whatever the fuck they wanted. I mean, girls, I want to set up peep. Right. But Clemmer coming off already like not doing it. And again, I got more upset with him on the phone, on the call
yesterday,
the radio, when he answered the question the way he answered it.
Right.
Like if he answered it, no, I wouldn't. Like if he said, I didn't think that was, I didn't think that was damaging. I would never intentionally tweet something that was damaging. Even if I believed it, I would have had no problem.
Would you have
reversed to that at the very end?
Would you have, let's just say Penn had laid everybody off because they had to, and Clemmer tweeted that you didn't own the company. Would you have cared?
No.
No, I wouldn't think so. Right? Yeah, it's different now.
Yeah. No, I wouldn't have cared.
Since you've bought the company, what's been the most, other than Clemmer, of course, and his lack of blogging and his mutiny?
And it wasn't even crazy. It was a 3-day thing. It's just like, it's the first thing I saw.
No, if you look closer, he's had other long periods. If you look closer, there's been other periods as well. What's the thing that's frustrated you most since you bought the company?
There's nothing that's just jumped out. I mean, obviously, laying people off suck.
But you knew that was good. We knew that was going to happen, right? You knew that. Yeah, that was.
Yeah, some of the things that I've expected to happen or be there has happened. You know.
Yeah! There we go again. It's unbelievable. How's that rank on things? Because it annoys me. I'll tell you that.
That's frustrating.
It's
making a mockery of this.
Yeah, it's a very serious interview. It's being bastardized by this thing.
Yeah.
You paid attention at all to this producer search of mine? You probably haven't. I know you're a very busy guy. But
I see them coming in. Pizza guy. I've seen a little bit of it.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, yeah. Well, it's not the same pizza guy, but that was fucking wild. Jesus Christ! Did you read that Bon Appetit thing? The interview with that guy.
It's like living in a bizarre world. There's been 10 articles in major publications, and none of them have even come close to telling the truth of what actually happened.
This guy kind of reminds me like of a Murchison in a way. It's almost like he planted himself in this thing. He's crazy. Yeah. He's crazy.
He's making no sense. He doesn't want to talk about it. He's talking to everybody. He doesn't like the way I review pizza. Like I only have one bite. I always have bites. Like pizza places hate me. They all love me, and nobody is reporting the facts. And then you ask him, he'll be like, well, I knew I was going to, like, how long have you hated him? He's like, since I opened a pizza place. It's like and then he'll be like, I'm getting death threats. Like, well, I mean, you inserted yourself into this pizza review that was not a hostile review. So
the death threat stuff is bullshit. All that happens. But well, I remember when I went with you to do that thing in North Carolina, the pizza review I went with you and I and Jerry and Austin were there, and you said to me in the car, you're like, I just don't want to give bad reviews anymore.
I never do.
Yeah, you just can't. You won't do it. I could tell even during that you didn't want to give it initially a bad review.
Yeah, I hated it, and I was trying to give an excuse to why it may be low. Thank God I didn't give it like an 8.6, and then he came out and did that. That
was unbelievable.
I genuinely didn't like the pizza, but I was going to talk my way around to make it a good review. Everything he says is a lie. He's made no sense on any level. But hey, it went crazy viral, so I was happy.
Is that the most viral thing you've done in what?
A long time.
Like fucking 5 since whatever.
Long time.
Yeah.
Long time.
Yeah. Trying to think anything else because I don't know when you said initially you wanted to come in here all the time, do a weekly spot. So I was trying to.
I said I'm willing to do that. If you schedule, I'm happy to do it.
Semi-weekly spot. Anything new? Any big updates? Any announcements? Anything company related? You can break any news here for me?
No.
Anything? Are you still in for this? You and I are doing this surviving Barstool thing, right? In Chicago.
Yes, I'm in for that.
Okay, it's in Chicago at the end of October or something. Is that right?
Yeah, I think somewhere around mid-October.
Okay, no other company news, nobody coming in, nobody going. We're done with layoffs. Everything's good.
I think we're done with layoffs. We'll never have a round of layoffs. People may be like, oh, here and there because of performance, but not because we need to cut budget.
Okay, yes, and Colleen is still here to answer your question from earlier.
And so far, nothing is broke. Knock on wood, so that's good.
What do you mean?
Like, well, we lay people off. You don't know, like, if,
Oh, shit going wrong.
Yeah, you lay off people that were crucial and the pipe breaks. So far, so good.
Yeah. All right. So your final verdict on Clemmer is just essentially, are you actually concerned? Was it more you're sending a lesson? You're not actually waking up concerned that Chris Clemmer is going to tweet something inflammatory. No. You feel like he's been beaten down now with this text too. Like he's going to obey you now.
I was never concerned about that. He wasn't the only one. Arya, who...
He's an idiot. Fucking idiot. I fucking hate that guy. I fucking hate him. He went after me at the start of he's a fucking prick.
So I texted him privately, like, shut the fuck up.
Shut the fuck up.
Because he's not, like, a content. I saw Clemmer, and I was trying to be like, what good is piling on these people right now? It wasn't singled out Clemmer. Clemmer got me mad the way he answered questions. And people are like, oh, he bodied you. No, he didn't. Clemmer is talking in a fantasy land where he thinks the last man on the bench can say whatever the fuck they want with no repercussions. That's just fake life.
Right. And I gotta be fair, like these producers, these people who got laid off that put out these videos, like I kind of get it. Like they lost their job. Like let them do their thing. Like I don't think that's a big deal. Do you?
No. If people don't work here anymore.
Yeah.
They do whatever you want.
Right. Yeah. So you told that no-name Pat guy to shut up.
Yes.
Because he stinks. Why? At the beginning, I forget why. At the beginning of my show, he was going after me, the Minifans. Like, go for it. But I never interacted with him.
I have no problem.
Who is he? What does he do? What is he?
But what's crazy is he had already apologized to the Mean Girls for being too hard on them.
He did.
That made him look like a fool. They posted it. They go, this is the second time that you had to apologize for being too crazy. So,
do you think the Mean Girls are in there for the long run here, or are they just is it too much?
I have no idea.
You don't know that. Are you saying that like you have an idea?
No, I don't. I really don't.
And when Brianna said on the thing the other day, we played the clip that she's angry at Barstool and you're not worried about losing her, are you?
No, I'm not.
What was she talking about? Was she talking about you, or was she talking about?
No, I talked to her on that. I think she was upset with. Here, I know what she was upset with, and again.
I don't know anything. So I know she's dating some singer, but I don't even know who it is. So I don't know anything.
Yeah, well, she's dating an A-list celebrity.
Yeah, so, I mean, it's like Luke Bryan or something. Is that his name?
Yes. Yeah. Wait.
Zach Bryan, Dave's saying?
Zach Bryan.
I don't know who these people are. So I've always...
Well, let me put it this way. I'm not
nice.
going to get into Brianna's life with you because you're a psychopath and we need Brianna.
No, I'm saying the times I met her, she seemed very nice.
She's great.
I got no problem with that. But I'm just saying, like, are these real issues or are these issues she's going to get over?
They are not real issues.
They're not call her daddy like crazy. Like she's not going to lose her fucking life.
I love Bree. Bree is not on that tip. Bree is down for the cause, and she's been great. And I talked to her for a bit after that, and she said, if you listen to the full, which I agree, that was a clip.
Okay, better. It was better. Full context, better. Gotcha.
Correct.
Rico Bosco's contract is just about done, correct?
Rico Bosco blogged 7 times over Memorial Day weekend.
He did?
Yes.
Labor Day weekend.
Yep, Labor Day weekend. Yeah. Good blogs.
Good blogs.
I gave him an attaboy.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. He blogged 7 times over Labor Day weekend?
Yes.
So between he and Clemmer, they combined for 7 blogs over Labor Day weekend. That's pretty productive.
One guy, believe it or not, who has gotten it beaten into his head that he's lucky to be here, and another guy who, I don't want to keep saying this, but after 100 people get laid off, and I have been preaching, do something, blog, anything, for Clemmer just to sit there and do nothing, and then raise his head by criticizing other people, yes, that to me is nuts.
Sure. One final thing, though. Like, do you believe in your heart that Rico Bosco is a different person than when we were discussing him a year ago on the Dave Portnoy show and he was throwing stuff around the studio?
I don't know.
I don't know either. I don't know. I think maybe.
Because he's never shown the ability to control whatever demons he has.
But he has
come out.
But he has this year. He has.
I know. That's why I don't know if he's changed. Maybe.
Do you want him to have changed? Do you never want to see the old?
Right now we have a good Rico Bosco.
Okay, good. He's blogging. He's happy. He's doing the show with you and Dan.
Yep.
Good.
He's got his show coming out. Healthy Debate.
That's today, right?
Call-in show 4:00.
4:00 today, which I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, it should be interesting.
It'll be good.
Getting to talk to him.
It'll be good. All right, I'll talk to you later.
All right. Bye.
All right. Thank you, Dave. There you go. We're still on. All right, Dave Portnoy. Any thoughts from you, Colonnade, or Andrew Augustus? Colonnade first. Any thoughts on the interview?
Yeah. I mean, one thing that I didn't think came up was, did you hear Jordan yesterday say that non-content people can't go after?
She stinks.
So that guy does stink. I'm sure, whatever
stinks.
he did with the show in the past.
They both stink.
Yeah, but like, Jesus Christ! Like, what a
she's
fucking
a
piece
baby.
of shit thing to say.
She's a baby. She stinks.
No, but that's like you're a really bad person thing to say.
What did she say? The content people can't talk.
Yeah, like he can't say that she said something like an asshole like that.
Well, I mean, she's sensitive. They're sensitive. They're not built. They're not.
You're
built.
being an asshole. Somebody should be allowed to call you an asshole. Who gives a shit?
Correct.
That's it.
I agree. But I understand. But I do understand intellectually Dave's point of if he sees potential money in Mean Girls, like Chris Klemmer should keep his mouth shut and work. Like
it's so dramatic to think that has, like you said.
And you agree with me. I understand his larger point. I do understand his larger point. But my thing is like we've talked about this. The Mean Girls just aren't going to change. They're just what they are. But they're not actually. They almost have to rebrand at this point because that's not who they are.
To cause an issue out of that like that is, or
crazy.
any of these issues, like, do you want to be here or not?
Well, to be fair, Dave blew it up with that tweet.
I think it was already pretty.
But if Dave didn't quote tweet Klemmer, it was over. Like that was they'd be gone by now.
Does that even really matter? Because they're like they already deleted it. They already felt the pressure from the world.
Once you delete it, it's out there.
Yeah,
like nobody's. No, I think Dave made it, which is fine. As the owner of the company, he should do that.
Yeah.
But I knew Klemmer was going to send that text to Portnoy though.
Well, you got to in that.
My advice to Klemmer was, and I think Kevin Clancy sent him the same advice. Don't take a victory lap on Twitter yesterday. Like, don't fucking go near it. Just, you got your win. If you think you got your win, get your win. You get your private. Believe me, everyone's tweeting and then be getting texts up and down. That was his day in the sun. And the other thing is there will be a day where Klemmer says something kind of dumb and Portnoy is going to swoop in and fucking destroy him. Like he is. I know exactly how somebody like that thinks. I think the same way. If you take a little bit of a loss or a right hand, you just wait for the next time. So, but it's good. And I think we should probably do that every week with Dave if he wants to, right? It's
definitely
good for the show, I guess.
Yeah, I wish Andrew would stop playing that drop, but it is what it is.
What the fuck was that?
I don't know. It is.
There's something on here. I have no clue where it's from.
What happened?
I don't know how you work. How are you going to work with these people? I don't know how it's going to happen.
We'll interview two giants today, Dave Portnoy and Karen Augustus. Jesus Christ. All right, so we're back. We're going to take a little break here. So this is a YouTube exclusive only. So go subscribe, right, Dave? Is that what you do?
Yep.
Go subscribe. 12:30, the show is on, the Kirk Minahan Show with Jared Carabas in studio in 50 minutes. We're going to take a little break, an intermission. We're back at 12:30 with the return for the first time in 2 years of the Rocket himself in studio, Jared Carabas.